Yo, what's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into the Jets Report. I'm your host, Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, wanted to recap yesterday's massive win over the Green Bay Packers. It was an absolute beatdown, and the Aaron Glenn era has started in the New York Jets. So we'll dive into some winners and losers and just talk about the game as a whole on today's show. But before we do so, if you guys could, hit that subscribe button today. We're closing in here on 8,000 subs here on the channel. I think we're about 150 subs away. Could we do it on today's show? Maybe, maybe not. But if you guys want to help me out, make me look good for my bosses, hit that subscribe button. And once you guys are already subscribed, give me a Go Jets down below in the comments section. So, number one winner for me. I'm actually going to go with the head coach, Aaron Glenn. Now, this just felt like a different version of the New York Jets. I know it's the preseason, you're not trying to overreact too much, but there was some swagger. There was just a certain energy coming off the sideline, and I loved the video. It was McCrary Ball coming off the sideline after having just a bonehead, a late hit penalty. Aaron Glenn is just chewing this guy out, and then if you slow down the video, Glenn is just staring him down. I'll tell you what, Aaron Glenn's one of those guys I would not want to piss off. But, he's checked every box throughout the offseason. Even dating back to scouting combine, everything he was talking about, old school, hard-ass football guy. And then we saw that translate the rookie minicamp all the way in the OTAs, then training camp, and now the first step of the preseason. We can check that box. It was an absolute beatdown yesterday. The defense was playing well. The offense was playing well. Special teams was playing well. And it all starts with the head coach, Aaron Glenn. So I think the biggest winner there, is the head coach. Shout out to AG. But also I do want to give some love to Sauce Gardner here. That first drive for the Jets defense against the Packers first team offense, he has a PBU on the first play of the game. He gets a stop in the run game. Had a nice little tackle on the Packers running back. And then the following play on 3rd and short, he had another PBU. And the thing I love the most is he was getting up, he was talking smack, and you kind of felt like Sauce had his confidence and swagger back. Because as we know, playing that cornerback position, having confidence is absolutely huge. You almost have to have too much confidence. You have to be too cocky to be one of the top corners in the league. And he felt like he kind of had that swagger back. And, I'm sure he's heard all the noise. Oh, Derek Sting was better than you. Pat Surtain's better than you. If your name wasn't Sauce Gardner, you wouldn't be a top 10 corner in the league. He has probably heard that entire conversation that has taken place this offseason. Well, now he is the highest paid corner in NFL history. He has a lot to live up to. And with Aaron Glenn, Steve Wilks, they're going to get the most out of him. So I thought even though it was just one drive, he made 3 plays on that drive to help force a 3 and out. So Sauce, he looked amazing. And now we obviously got to show some love to the quarterback, Justin Fields. Just one drive yesterday, going 3 of 4, 48 yards, had 2 carries for 14 yards, and obviously had that awesome touchdown run. But he just looked comfortable. Now, the one miss was, an out route to the wide side of the field. He overthrew it by about 2 or 3 yards, and that's going to happen for Fields. If he could hit those throws consistently, he would probably be a top half of the league quarterback. But he still struggles in that department. But again, we saw the athleticism. He also felt a lot more calm in the pocket. You didn't really feel like he had the pitter-patter feet like he did in the past. He was just very comfortable in there. And that's also why, because the Jets offensive line did a fantastic job yesterday. They were going up against the Packers ones, who they have a pretty solid defensive line over there in Green Bay. The Jets offensive line was clearing them out of the way. And even on the pass plays, Justin Fields was just untouched. And then when he finally had pressure on the one touchdown run, he was able to step up in the pocket, make a nice little run to the outside, and you got to give Isaiah Davis some credit on that play. Isaiah Davis was running like a wheel route out of the backfield, and he saw Justin Fields taking off, so he faked threw his hands up like he was about to catch a ball, so the DB that was running with him didn't turn around, so he could go make a play on Fields. I thought that was absolutely genius. So, 3 of the faces of the franchise for me, Aaron Glenn, Sauce Gardner, Justin Fields, all looked amazing yesterday. We didn't get to see the Justin Fields-Garrett Wilson connection, but I do like Garrett Wilson. I think he was sent in motion damn near every play on offense. But I'm sure he was getting bracketed. He was getting a lot of double-team looks, and actually led to another one of my winners. How about the fullback, Andrew Beck? If you would have told me he would have been the leading receiver for this Jets offense yesterday in a 30-point win for New York, I would have called you crazy. But he was lining up everywhere. And, obviously Aaron Glenn, old school football guy, it would not shock me if a fullback has a massive role in this offense. But he did have those 2 catches from Fields, went for 36 yards. They were lining up as him as a tight end. He was in the backfield playing some true fullback. And, maybe he's just another weapon that we don't really, we don't really see too much or didn't think about too much. But he had a couple of nasty blocks in the run game. Jets were just that one Braylon Allen run where he went for like 14 yards. He completely cleared this linebacker, and Braylon was able to finish the run by completely running over a Packers safety. So the run game looked good. And he also looked good in the pass game, so shout out to Andrew Beck there. And another big winner defensively, Jay Tufele. Now, massive conversation this offseason was who's going to be that defensive tackle next to Quinnen Williams? Is it going to be Derek Nottie? Could it be a guy like Tufele stepping up? Could it be a guy like Taylor Lawrence, who also had a strip sack in the end zone yesterday? Shout out to him. But Tufele, he had that touchdown. He picked up that ball that Lawrence knocked out, and he also had 1.5 sacks, 2 QB hits, a TFL, and you just felt him every single play. Great intensity. He had just some nasty moves from the interior, and if you could have that guy step up next to Quinnen, Will McDonald, Germaine Johnson, who also Will McDonald, that one spin move he put on the Packers right tackle, Zach Tom, in the second drive of the game was absolutely disgusting. He forced Jordan Love to step up in the pocket. It ended up being a sack for Tufele, or half a sack for Tufele on that play. But that spin move Will McDonald put on him was absolutely disgusting. So Tufele played his tail off. And then also 2 other guys on offense here. And again, this may be super biased to me because I've been a Tyler Johnson fan since he was playing his college football in Minnesota, and I always thought he was very solid for the Rams. But he was a massive part of the first-team offense yesterday. And I thought it was interesting that when they were running those 3 wide receiver sets, it was Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, and Tyler Johnson, not Allen Lazard in there. I think we may have a wide receiver 3 battle between Johnson and Lazard, assuming Reynolds will get that nod as the second wide receiver, as he is one of the best run blockers in the game. And even in a preseason game yesterday, Jets' first game under Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrad, they ran the ball 40-plus times. I think that's going to be a trend that continues throughout the year. So they clearly value receivers who can run block, and Tyler Johnson can. Now, is he the biggest? Is he the fastest wide receiver? No. But he just gets open. He's got reliable hands, and Glenn's been raving about this guy the entire offseason. So Tyler Johnson's one of those guys, not a household name right now, but I could see him maybe not having like an 800, 900-yard year, but maybe he has a little 500, 600-yard season. He'll have a game where he'll go for 80 yards and a touchdown, have a big play in a big spot, but definitely impressed me what he did yesterday. And, Braylon Allen, just an eye test from the guy. The dude looks unreal. He is a freak of nature. And it's also crazy that he is only 21 years old still. That dude is massive. He looked fast. He looked more athletic yesterday. And that one run we were just talking about when he completely lowered his shoulder and he literally injured the Packers safety. He had to get walked off the field because he tried to tackle Braylon Allen in open space, and he just put his shoulder right into his shoulder as well and just ran over him. Now, I think it's probably going to be a 50-50 split in this backfield this year with him and Breece. Breece looked okay yesterday. Didn't really have too much of an opportunity. The 3 carries he had, it was defended pretty well by Green Bay. But I think those two, obviously the Jets are going to try to replicate what the Lions had with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I think Braylon Allen could be better than David Montgomery. Can Breece Hall be better than Jahmyr Gibbs? Absolutely not. But I think that little thunder and lightning combo should be very exciting, especially with how good the offensive line looked yesterday. If they can just stay healthy at the interior, and Armand Membu, who also had a really good game yesterday, 0 pressures allowed and 10 pass blocking snaps, which is a very encouraging sign. Fashanu also looked good. That offensive line, if they can build that chemistry, build that continuity, and just stay healthy, this run game should see a massive jump. From a team that was 31st in the league in rushing last year, only averaging 91 yards per game, could they be a top 10 unit? Could they be a top 5 unit? They have the personnel. They also have the dual threat quarterback, which obviously helps the running game a ton. I mean, the Ravens and the Eagles, yes, they have Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, but why is their run game so good as well? Because you got Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. You just got to at least show those guys some respect, and it just helps out the entire rushing offense as a whole. So I'm very encouraged. Now, let's talk about some losers here. Malachi Corley. Shocked he only played 15 snaps yesterday. And I think he's probably, I don't want to say probably, I think it's probably 50-50 chance he makes the team. Because let's just assume the Jets will keep 6 wide receivers. Garrett Wilson, obviously a lock. Josh Reynolds, Allen Lazard, Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith. Those are 5 locks. It's going to come down to Gibson and Corley. Corley kind of being a head case this offseason. Clearly not happy with his role here. I could see Aaron Glenn going with a guy like Xavier Gibson over Malachi Corley. Now, maybe they keep 7 wide receivers. I really doubt that, but he also just didn't really play. And when he did get the chance to, make something happen, just didn't really make guys miss. And just very, very underwhelming. Now, another loser here, we're going to go Jeremy Ruckert, the tight end. He's had a very rough camp. Penalties have been an issue for him. Drops have been a major, major issue. And with Stone Smart, he had a solid game yesterday. Had that one tight end screen that he took to the house late in the second half. But obviously Mason Taylor, he's going to get majority of the tight end 1 reps. Unfortunately, he wasn't out there still dealing with that high ankle sprain. Cannot wait to watch him during week 2. But I didn't think Ruckert, he's going to be buried on the depth chart. Will he still make the team 110%? But I think it was mainly just because him and Justin Fields had that connection at Ohio State that we thought maybe he was going to have a bigger role in this offense. But it just didn't really look too good yesterday in his limited opportunities. And, he's had a rough training camp, still make the team. Will probably end up being the tight end 3 at the end of the day. So, hey, I appreciate all of you guys watching. I only really had 2 losers. It was a very, very solid start for the New York Jets. And I love that we actually got real look where it was like the first-team defense going against the Packers' first-team offense, the Jets' first-team offense going against the Packers' first-team defense. And the Jets dominated those limited drives. So, very encouraging. Shout out to Aaron Glenn, man. All starts with him. Just a sicko football nut job, and I would love to play for him, even though I'd be terrified to make him upset. But, hey, we appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching the entire video. See you guys next time. Go Jets.